Hello guys, welcome to another video. In this video, we're going to be looking at the presidential elections and what's been going on with FC Barcelona. So this is like a deep dive series. So I'm going to be doing a series, and we're going to be covering all sorts of topics. So this is going to be the first of them, first of many. So stick to the end, and yeah, let's take a deep dive into see what's going on at FC Barcelona and what's with the presidential candidates and the elections as a whole, and what's up with Xavi and Victor Font and Laporta, and whose side are we gonna take, and blah blah blah, everything covered. So yeah, let's get right into it. So let's get started. We're gonna be looking at what Laporta has done in the past few years, to get Barcelona to where it is today. So the number one thing he did was bring in Xavi and bring in the La Masia talents. Instead of spending recklessly on new signings, being desperate like Bartomeu was in his last few years, Laporta was actually smart and he actually used the La Masia talents and did not sign any, you know, big player, whatsoever. And number two thing that he did for me was, um, I mean, get us out of debt, basically, so he didn't do any reckless spending, and he managed the finances, in such a way that we were able to get out of the debt, and we were able to function as a club. We made so many collaborations like Spotify, Ed Sheeran specials, all these, things that was happening. And yeah, now that we have a new stadium coming up, so and we have Hansi Flick, and we have all the La Masia talents, mature talents, and we went through an amazing run last season to the Champions League semifinals, and yeah, it's a good run overall. I would say it's not he wasn't a bad president whatsoever. Um, so yeah, I feel like these are the things that he has done so far for the club, and the things that, of course, he promised, which wasn't delivered, was of course Messi. He was a big time over there. But still, say what you want. He did uh, bring us out of debt, and we did move out of the Messi era. That era was done. You know, so now we have this Lamine Yamal and all these other youngsters stepping up, and so yeah, these are the things that he has done so far. So now let's get on to the things that Victor Font says he's gonna do, his promises. So what do I think of it? I think, it's it's something that every president is gonna say. Something that everyone's gonna do. It's not something different or anything. These are not the only reasons that he needs to be voted on or whatever. See, the thing is with me is that, say what you want, but Laporta's methods have worked. Whatever he did to Messi, whatever, backstabbing and everything he did to Messi, that's secondary. But what he has done for the club, you know, his methods have meant to be proven. You know, it's been proven back to back. So I feel like, Laporta does deserve another chance. He deserves to be elected president once again. And see where this goes. Because I don't know anything about Font. That guy just popped out of nowhere, and now he's just running for presidential elections, and he's making all these promises, which one of which has already been meant to be not true. Reconnecting with Messi. There's no way that's happening. So. Sorry. So basically, both presidents are using Messi as a leverage to get voted as, to get an edge towards the fans, which is not happening. Messi is not coming back. End of discussion. So I don't know why they keep pulling Messi into this for no reason. Um, and yeah, so we've looked at Laporta's you know thing so far. We've looked at Fon's promises. So now, right, let's look at the promises that Victor Font has made. And let's see how realistic they are and how different they are from Laporta's basically. So, I mean, yeah, let's get right into it. So, the first thing he says is that he's gonna reconnect with Leo Messi. He says that he's gonna do everything possible to bring back Leo Messi, and he wants to give him a position as a sporting director or whatever, whatever, and he wants to rebuild the connection that was lost due to Laporta's unfaithful, betrayal, of Messi, which we will get on, to later. So what he's basically saying that he's just gonna bring back Leo Messi and give him some position or honor him in some way, whatever, whatever, which is not true because Messi has went on many interviews and said that he doesn't want to be associated with the club in any shape or form. He doesn't want any sporting position. He doesn't want any managerial positions. He doesn't want to get into the politics of the club. He's not even going to vote for the candidate election. So he just wants to stay away from all of this. He will settle in Barcelona once he retires, and he will be a fan of the club, of course, for life. And he wants to have a retirement farewell match and everything. But there's no way he's gonna come back as a director or managerial director or whatever. So that's out of the table. So that was the first promise that he has made, which is ridiculous, you know. And second thing he has said is he's going to reduce the season ticket prices. So he said he wants to reduce the ticket prices by 75% so that every fan will be able to afford the tickets and if certain conditions are met, you know. So, and the third one, he says he's just gonna protect the member ownership model. He wants the club to be owned by the socios, the members, and not by private investors. So that's something that he says he's gonna, you know, do for sure if he gets elected as president, that is, which is good, I guess. I mean, that's how Barca has always has been, compared to other clubs. That's the difference between us and other clubs. The club is owned by the fans, which is which is a nice thing. And he wants to restructure the sporting department, mainly fire Deco as a sporting director. Why? Because Deco is one of the loyal, trusted associates of Laporta. So it makes sense that he doesn't want him anymore. And, I mean, it's Deco. He has done some stupid decisions in the past. So it makes sense, if you think about it. And and the next thing is he wants to support Hansi Flick with a long-term project because, of course, Hansi Flick's methods are working. So this goes for both the presidents. Both Laporta and Font wants to support Hansi Flick, uh, you know, and present him with a long-term project and work with him long time and see where the club, you know, uh, goes with his management. So yeah, I mean, with this coaching prowess, I mean, I believe that we will win something, you know. So let's hope. And the last thing is that he wants to. Hmm, this is something that came out of the blue. Actually, this surprised me as well. Is that he wants to take action, legal action against Real Madrid for on alleged influence on referees and whatnot. Um, that took me off guard actually. So basically, to put in a nutshell, what Font's campaign is focused on is that financial recovery, cheaper tickets, reconnect with Leo Messi, and restructuring the sporting leadership at Barcelona. That's it. That's Font's project. And so let's now that we have already established what Laporta's promises are, now what Victor Font's promises are, let's go into what actually happened. What actually happened with Messi and Laporta. What Xavi has come out and said. So there's a 20-minute interview, 23-minute. If you guys want to go, you can go and watch Xavi's interview, which was released yesterday. And people are taking sides. Some people are saying that it's too convenient that he's coming out of after so many years during the presidential elections, to speak out on Laporta. in support of Victor Font, and another group is saying that this is the right time to do it since it's the presidential elections, so we get to see the side of Laporta, uh, and know what actually happened behind the scenes between Messi, Xavi, and Laporta. So personally, I mean, I feel like, yeah, I mean, Xavi's a little biased. I mean, he did vote for Victor Font, so he wants Laporta down the drain. But the interesting thing is Messi's entourage has actually reported, has reacted, and has backed up Xavi's stories. And yeah, so they have said that we've just uh, touched the touched the surface, and there is many more, but they have backed up Xavi's side of events. So which does put us in a weird position now for Laporta, because he did react to Xavi's m- interview, saying that he's just doing it out of spite, since Hansi Flick is basically winning with the same players that Xavi had, and he's just doing this out of spite because he was fired. So yeah, so let's get into the interview itself. So what Xavi says is that the management at FC Barcelona was not supportive of his transfers. He wanted to sign Zubimendi, and they didn't let him. And he wanted to one of the things he wanted to do, of course, uh, he was talking about selling Rafinha and everything, but what happened was these management directors and everyone, they kind of pulled out a story on him and went to the players and started spreading false messages. Like they went to Pedri, Gavi, and everyone, and I think Arojo and everyone, I guess, and they started saying, you know, telling them that they were gonna get sold. They were on, which wasn't true, which wasn't true because Xavi honestly believed in them, and he was the one who brought in all of them. And so Xavi felt betrayed once he got to hear that side of the story. And one of the players actually approached Xavi. I don't remember which one, and I think it was yeah, I think it was which one? Sergio Roberto. I don't remember. Fuck. Yeah, I think it was Sergio Roberto. And he asked him, "Are you planning to sell me? Don't you believe in me? Whatever." And Xavi was surprised to hear that. So yeah, I mean, there were a lot of these kind of back talks, and all these kind of you know things that were happening. And yeah. So this was the gist of it over the whole interview. And yeah, of course, he spoke about Messi, saying that after forget the initial thing. We all know the initial thing. What happened? They had to sell Messi because of the debt, and they couldn't re-sign him after the Copa America, even though it was assured that he was coming back to Barcelona. And it came as a shock for everyone. And yeah, so that was the first time. But the second time, which is just coming out now, the second time, apparently Barcelona could have signed Messi after the World Cup win. So after December 2022, December 18, basically the January window, Barcelona could have signed him. According to Xavi, Barcelona could have signed him. They got a green light from La Liga, so nothing was stopping them. Financially, they could have afforded Messi, but for some reason, Laporta rejected it, saying that if Messi comes back, it's gonna be like a rebellious thing. Messi would start a war against Laporta because he did feel betrayed initially. They didn't have you know, uh, they didn't end on good terms. So basically, Laporta felt threatened, and he didn't want Messi. So so yeah, I mean that was the thing that Xavi came out and said in the interview, saying that just because uh, it's threatened Laporta position, and I mean he didn't want Messi back, and instead we signed Ferran Torres for I think 15 million or something. I don't remember. Yeah. Uh, so yeah, I mean that was Xavi's side of events, which was backed by Messi's entourage, of course. And for the second time, Messi has felt betrayed, and because of all this, they did go back and forth for a few months. I think from Jan to March, uh, talking about the return and also about the farewell match and everything. They did set up everything. Everything was arranged, but then it was pulled out last minute, and Messi felt like Xavi was also involved in the scheme against him, and it affected their relationship as well, which they patched it up later on, as Xavi said. But yeah, I mean, this was a thing that happened, so which makes people, you know, feel more distrusted with Laporta because you never know what's going on, you know. If it doesn't benefit Laporta, he doesn't do it. You know what I mean? So that's basically the one side of view as well. So so yeah, this is the whole thing that's been going on up until now. And Laporta promises are the same thing, you know. Basically, Laporta promises to, you know, sign some major brand deals, you know, like with Nike. You know, he wants to bring Barcelona out of debt. You know, he wants to keep the current sporting project working with Deco, of course, and players with. He wants to maintain the same squad with players like Lamine Yamal and other La Masia's talents. He wants to strengthen the Barca finances, you know, have global partnerships, making the club financially stable while staying competitive, increasing commercial revenues and sponsorships, and you know, finishing the Camp Nou project. We have a stadium coming up, you know, Spotify. So he wants to do that, and he wants to make it as a major financial engine for the club, and he wants to do smart transfers, not reckless spending. It's basically, yeah, it's the same thing that he has been doing so far. And yeah, of course, keep Hansi Flick as a coach and, you know, work with him as well. So yeah, it's the same thing for Laporta, the same promises, nothing really different over there. And yeah, I mean, so yeah, this is it, guys. You know, the presidential elections are going on. Uh, Let me know what you guys think. Victor Font right, or is Porta right? I mean, who you gonna vote? What about Xavi? Where does Xavi fit in all of this? Where does Messi fit in all of this? You know, I feel like personally that it's wrong to involve Messi because he doesn't even want to do anything. He just wants to play football and, you know, prepare for the World Cup. So let the man be. You know, don't try to use him as a leverage, you know, to win as a president. And personally, I feel like, you know, even though what Laporta did was not a great thing per se, you know, we could have signed Messi two times, and he betrayed us both the times. So which wasn't nice, but you know, it is what it is, you know. I mean, at the end of the day, it's all about the club. You know, if the club turns out fine, I'm here all for it. You know, I believe that even Messi would be happy. You know, even Messi is happy looking at Barcelona at the moment, you know. So so yeah, I mean, that's it. That's it for the video, guys. So let me know whose side you guys take on, Victor Font or Laporta, or you know, what do you guys think? And yeah, I'll see you in another video. Bye bye. Take care.